this reaction going.
Nicholas Lindsay. This is Nicholas Lindsay, a 17-year-old from St. Petersburg, Florida, making his appearance at the Pinellas Pasco Circuit Court after committing a crime that got him found guilty of first, resulting in a sentence of life imprisonment.
My last text with him was me saying, "Be safe, Dad. I love you." Which he immediately replied, "I will, sweetheart. I love you too." That was 1 hour before Lindsay went to shooting him.
The voice you just heard is that of Amanda Crawford, the daughter of St. Petersburg police officer David Crawford, who lost his life after a deadly encounter with Nicholas Lindsay on February 21st, 2011.
Lil bruh, hella young, killed a cop. That shit crazy. You got way more training than the little kid, though. I mean, I don't know the situation, but goddamn.
Officer David Crawford responded to a 911 call about a possible burglary near Tropicana Field. The caller claimed he saw a man holding a brick in his backyard, who later jumped the fence. Officer Crawford quickly arrived at the scene and exited his vehicle when he spotted the mystery burglar, who was later identified as Nicholas Lindsay. Perhaps seeing that the suspect was only a teenager, Crawford's greatest undoing was to believe that he had the situation under control. According to the police, Nicholas Lindsay opened fire on David Crawford as the officer reached for a notepad.
Every single shot he fired.
That's why they for surely just be killing kids. Because they like, fuck. I mean, this one incident, but goddamn. This nigga was reaching for a notepad. And little bro got the blicky.
Exactly where he aimed it, at the body of Officer Crawford.
Officer Crawford managed to fire 6 rounds from his Glock, but none of the bullets hit Lindsay as he fled from the scene. Another officer found the wounded 25-year veteran on the ground and immediately called for medical support. David Crawford was pronounced dead at Bayfront Medical Center. Crawford's death quickly made the news, leading to a massive manhunt for the killer, drawing in more than 200 police officers from different agencies across Tampa Bay. The manhunt ended on the night of February 22nd, 2011, when police received several tips from the community that led to a raid on an apartment where Nicholas Lindsay lived with his mother, Deneen Sweat, and brothers. Sweat later told ABC affiliate WFTS that she knew something was wrong when the police came to her apartment, but she let them in. After finding out the reason why the police wanted her son, Sweat wasn't caught in two minds about her next action, and she immediately told her son he needed to cooperate with the police. Still speaking to WFTS, Sweat said,
"I told my son, man up and tell what happened. And he did that."
Sweat was with her son when he confessed to killing Officer David Crawford. According to Police Chief Chuck Harmon, Lindsay didn't hold back any details as he tearfully confessed to the murder after much pleading from his parents.
Thought he was on safety, but it wasn't. I pulled it out on my finger on the chair.
Harmon went on to add, when he did make the admission on tape for us at the end of the day, it was quite apparent that he was remorseful in his actions. In his confession, Lindsay claimed he shot at Crawford's stomach with a gun he had bought for $140 off the streets a week before the incident.
So why they repeat them though? $140. What? What did he say? What did he say right now? Sorry.
Bought for $140 off the streets a week before the incident.
$140. What channel is this? These guys is crazy.
The then 16-year-old also told the police he couldn't recollect how many times he fired at Crawford. However, the police later revealed that Lindsay had fired at least 4 rounds at the unsuspecting police officer. The killer teen fled from the scene and threw his gun into a creek. The murder case attracted much media attention because Crawford was the 3rd police officer to die in St. Petersburg in less than a month. Unsurprisingly, the Pinellas County Courthouse was packed with reporters the next day as Nicholas Lindsay was formally charged with the murder of David Crawford. Although Lindsay had previously been charged in the juvenile system's truancy court, a murder trial was unfamiliar territory for the teenager. Inside the courtroom, Lindsay shockingly showed little emotion. Still, his father, Nicholas Lindsay Sr., broke into tears as he apologized to the family and friends of the slain officer. The visibly distraught father said,
On behalf of me, my son, our entire family, he said, I deeply so sorry.
Condolences.
And his colleague that he worked with, stop on his side. No son of it happened.
Speaking inside the courtroom, Officer Crawford's partner Stu Crisco explained he has found it difficult to forgive Nicholas Lindsay, saying,
According to my faith, I am supposed to forgive you. I do not know that I will ever be able to do that.
Stu Crisco added,
And I hope that you live to be a very old man, locked up, and every single day that you were locked away, that you can think of the choices that you made that night and all the things that you missed.
after a week-long trial in March 2012, 17-year-old
According to my religion, I'm supposed to forgive you. So, what do you follow? I'm not even finna get into that shit, chat, but that shit crazy.
Nicholas Lindsay was convicted of David Crawford's murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Although Lindsay was tried as an adult, his age was still pivotal in helping him to avoid the death penalty. 2 years later, Lindsay's life sentence was upheld in court following an appeal, and the convicted killer shocked everyone when he grinned on hearing the judge's ruling. Many were taken aback by the lack of remorse shown by the teenager, especially David Crawford's daughter, Amanda. While speaking to reporters after the ruling, Amanda called out Lindsay's awkward reaction in the courtroom.
Justice was served, and I'm glad it's over. And it just kind of proves to me that he's an animal as he sat there smiling.
Danta Wright.
Robbery. Count 3, conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Count 6, the felony firearm. And in added count 7, murder in the second degree under Pact Code 750.317. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years.
When it comes to shocking reactions to life sentences from teenage killers, very few come close to the chilling smiles and unbothered disposition of 18-year-old Danta Wright, who was appearing at the Washtenaw County Trial Court, Ann Arbor, Michigan, for the gruesome murder of 18-year-old high schooler Jordan Klee. Jordan Klee was a senior at Pioneer High School and also one of the best footballers in his school. He dreamt of going to college at Michigan University and joining their football team. Unfortunately, that dream never materialized, as Klee didn't even make it to his high school graduation. On October 4th, 2016.
What y'all think happened, though? Because a few things could have basically happened. I mean, shit. Was the other dude on a football team or what? Or was the other dude just a part of the school getting picked on or something? Who knows? Who knows?
Klee was found dead by a maintenance worker at an apartment complex at Pine Lake Village, Ann Arbor. He had a single gunshot wound to his head, and his body was lying on a path outside the condominium complex.
It's really sad, really sad. Everyone's crying and stuff. Big loss for the teachers.
Police officers were immediately called to the scene, and a thorough investigation was launched after the death was ruled as a homicide. Following some tips, 3 suspects were arrested in connection with the killing of Jordan Klee: Danta Wright, Delrano Gracie, and Jermarius Ellison. They were all teenagers at the time of the crime and allegedly belonged to a street gang. Several months after Jordan Klee's death, Danta Wright left everyone stunned when he casually confessed to killing Klee with the help of his friends during a June 2017 hearing. Wright explained that the trio had attempted to rob Klee when things went south, and he shot him in the back of his head.
And as a result of that armed robbery, what did you do with that gun and Mr. Jordan Klee?
Shot him
Where did you shoot him?
on the top of his head.
And did you kill him with that shot?
Yes.
A month later, Danta Wright met with the victim's family members at a Washtenaw County courthouse in Michigan. However, anyone who came to the courthouse expecting a peaceful proceeding was left disappointed after the court was briefly thrown into confusion after the judge threatened to reject the sentencing agreement due to Danta Wright's appalling behavior in the courtroom. As a family member read an impact statement on behalf of the victim's grieving mother, Danta Wright could be seen smiling and almost laughing at the pain of his victim's family. Not paying any attention to Wright's embarrassing display of petulance, the family member left most of the crowd seated in the court in tears with the closing paragraph of Karen Klee's impact statement.
I've lost laughter and love. I no longer have the hope of having grandchildren. I've lost the enjoyment of holidays and birthdays and of everyday life.
Danta Wright further angered the already irritated judge when he addressed the court. Instead of apologizing to his victim's family, the killer teenager chose to send a shout-out to his own family. He casually said,
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon. I love my family.
At this point, the 22nd Circuit Court Judge David
That man
Swartz had
crazy.
just about had enough of Wright's attitude, and he asked the prosecutors if the sentencing agreement was too lenient. He said,
Watching you sit there, smile, and laugh, and shake your head
Judge,
like this was
judge
no
wanna
big deal.
bury
I'm
you.
very tempted to just say, I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there.
The court then proceeded on a short recess to allow the prosecution to deliberate on whether to take the case to trial, as the judge had suggested. Ultimately, Jordan Clee's family asked that the case not go to trial, as that would only bring them more trauma. When the sentencing resumed, Wright's lawyer apologized to the court on behalf of his client and blamed the inappropriate behavior on some emotional issues suffered by Wright. Judge David Swartz subsequently imposed a 50 years prison sentence on Dana Wright for the murder of Jordan Clee. With how grim prison experience is, hopefully
23 to 50 for shooting a nigga in the head. That's crazy. Judge was like, shit, give him the max. This nigga laughing. This nigga think this shit funny.
Wright has kept a smile on his face throughout.
Man, that shit crazy for real though. I mean, shooting a nigga, confessing to shooting a nigga, laughing, and then that nigga still get away. Wonder what that shit was at though, for real. Should I do another one for y'all? Or should I just make this the video? Anyways, it's one of my first reactions. It ain't perfect, but there's more to come. Just tap in, fuck with your boy, and just let me know. Let me know what's, you feel me, what to do next. It's King Eli. I'm out.